Welcome to VBL Consulting. Valerie Bennett-Lewis is a respected leadership coach who serves with a passion to guide executives, new leaders, and entrepreneurs to uncover the tools and skills they need to become the leaders that they were destined to be. I'm Christina Morales, a writer and marketing specialist, and Valerie is my dear friend and my mentor. Today, we are going to touch on a topic that has been sorely neglected: mentoring. So, Valerie, many companies have staff training and think that's enough to allow someone to sink or swim in their business. What's the difference between training and mentoring?
Well, first of all, good morning,
Good
Christina.
morning.
I'm glad we have an opportunity to chat.
Me too.
So let me go through it. A mentor is really someone, a leader, and for the purposes of this meeting or this session, we'll call it a mentor leader, right?
Okay.
And a mentor leader has skills and knowledge to share with junior employees, and also a willingness to share their information and experiences. And they should be able to have the knowledge and the skills to help employees respond to questions, brainstorm, really develop some strategies for how they should progress with their career advancement. A trainer, on the other hand, is really expected to deliver really clear, concise information as efficiently and effectively as possible. So I look at the mentor leader as more of relationship, where there's a free exchange of information and ideas. The employee feels very comfortable going in, asking questions, and the trainer is more instructive. It's more of a structured setting, and the trainer has a clear end and beginning and end to the type of information that they want to communicate. So I'll do a little bit of a compare and contrast, right?
Okay.
So for a mentor is really more relationship based, more friendly, personal, confidential. The trainer, like I said before, is more instructional, process and procedures, how to get the job done. Mentors really focus on motivation. How can you motivate and inspire in terms of delivering information? In terms of duration, the mentor-leader relationship is more of a long-term. So therefore, there's more of the relationship, right? There's more of a long-term investment into time, into the relationship with the mentee. A trainer, on the other hand, is more short-term. You have some organizations that have employee orientation. That's a specific training for a new employee. Or you have specific trainings that you have to take to stay certified or keep up to date on your particular field. So the trainer is more of a short-term. Trainers, like I mentioned before, focus more on what's the job, how do you perform the job, what do you need to do to get better at the job, whereas the mentor leader is really looking at your career. What do you need to do to grow and develop in your career? What do you need to do? What does the employee need to do to kind of get to that next step and advance into the career? I think, in terms of the comparison and the compare and contrast, one of the things that actually both the mentor leader and the trainer needs, they both have to be confident in their communication skills, and they really need to be equipped to know how to pass along information so that the mentee or the employee receives the information that they need to either advance in their career or to progress in terms of their job training. So it's important to know the difference between the mentor leader and the trainer, because each organization and each business has to determine what they need and what will work best for them.
That's so good. And it seems like one of the tools you equip your clients with is the power to be a mentor. And this sets the employee up for success but so many times companies neglect this important role. Why is that? Like, it costs a lot of money to train an employee and then have them be part of your staff and leave because they don't have that support. And yet it's such an obvious answer. Why do they neglect this?
That's actually an excellent question. It's really an excellent question. I encourage my clients and I encourage all leaders to look at mentoring as another management tool,
That's good.
right? But one of the things, a couple of things that I'll highlight for leaders not actually using mentor as more of a management tool, it's an investment in time,
Mm-hmm.
right? And right now, with everything that we have going on with COVID and working remotely and all of this change and ambiguity, leaders were already feeling stressed for time. And
Yeah.
so now they're really feeling more overwhelmed. But it takes time. But if you look at, developing an employee, when you bring someone on, you spend a lot of time recruiting, looking for qualified employees. And so you might as well just take the next step in terms of investing time to make sure that that employee has the tools and the skills that they need to be successful on the job. When the employee is successful, then the leader is successful. So some leaders struggle with multiple priorities. They just have a lot on their plate. There's a lot of things going on. Some leaders really feel like they need to do it all as opposed to delegating to other individuals on their team. Another reason why maybe mentoring is not used as a management tool is sometimes organizations are not really clear on roles and expectations.
Yeah.
And so it'd be hard to mentor someone if the roles and expectations are not clearly defined.
Mm-hmm.
So those would be some of the reasons why managers or leaders don't utilize the mentoring tool as much as possible. But one of the things that I try to encourage my clients to do is to really put themselves into the employee's position and to really look at the upfront investment of time and the ROI, right, return on investment that they're going to get by developing and growing and sharing and preparing the employee for that next step. And when you think of your long-term goals and the folks that you need to help get you there and the skills that they need to get there, I think if you take a step back, you'll find that there is value in developing more of a personal relationship where you can kind of guide them and help them to grow. But it's challenging, right, with everything that we have going on, for leaders to take a step back and really be thoughtful about using mentoring as a tool.
Mm-hmm. So let's say that I'm a manager and I have a staff of 10 people under me. How would I start this process of mentoring them?
So I think first thing is that you need to spend some time and get to know each one of your employees. Um, and a leader should do that regardless. If you have a team or a staff, you want to get to know your employees. Your employees are your most valuable resource.
True.
So what is it that they're looking for? Where do they want to go in their career? What's their timeline? What do they think they need to do to kind of get to the next level? Because I think the other thing too is an employee or a mentor needs to have an idea about where they want to go and how they want to get there in order for that mentor leader relationship to really be effective. So sometimes it's really sitting and understanding, where do they want to go? How do they want to get there? And then you also have to look at, well, what are the business goals, right? Where's the business trying to go? And so how can I, or how can my client, or how can a leader help to the business to achieve their objectives, but also help the employees to grow in a certain area? Not everyone wants to grow into being a manager. Some folks are satisfied at the level that they're at. So it's really, it's up to the leader to take time to connect, connecting is very, very important in terms of being an effective mentor and being an effective leader. Being able to connect with your team, being able to understand what motivates them, what inspires them, what are they passionate about, what are their strengths, right?
Mhm.
And then what are the areas where they really need help, right? And so being able to take your skills as a leader and as a mentor and say, okay, well, I've had some issues with conflict management. And so these are some of the experiences I've had and some of the tools that I've used to grow and develop in a particular area. So when you understand where your employees, what their strengths are, what their challenges are, what their goals are in terms of moving forward and growing in their career, it just makes your role as a mentor, you're able to be more effective and come up with a game plan to help move your employees along.
I love that because it's investing in a long-term plan. So what are some of the long-term results that you've seen when a leader invests and they become a mentor? How does this bring success to both people?
Well, actually, for the leader, so the leader has the opportunity of growing their leadership presence, how they show up, how they communicate, how they influence, how they motivate. And so if you think about having an opportunity to work one-on-one and share your experience and share your feedback, um, and also receive feedback, that you become a better communicator. You're able to influence and um, you're able to influence your employees to produce high quality results. And so that's one of the areas that the leader grows in terms of their own leadership presence. Leaders are also more skillful in delivering constructive feedback,
Hmm.
which is really important in terms of morale and retention. The ability to be able to maintain positive working relationships while still holding folks accountable.
Hmm.
And so that's another area where I think a leader is able to gain some extra to grow and develop. And also, in addition to delivering constructive feedback, the leader has an opportunity to gain new perspective and new ideas. And so when you have a new employee that comes into the organization, or an employee that is looking at a challenge or an issue from a different perspective, when the leader allows themselves to be open to hearing that feedback, you can brainstorm, you can
Yeah.
just, it's more inclusive of ideas and perspective, which actually helps the leader to solve problems, come up with solutions, help build the team, because the team members know this leader is really listening to the things that we have to say. So those are some of the advantages of a mentor program that I see for a leader. In terms of for the employee or for the mentee, they gain confidence to do the job, to ask questions. They have confidence to, indicate when they need help, when something is going on and they need assistance, as opposed to just kind of sitting and not saying anything and not being sure. You want to work with someone that's confident, and if they have a question or an issue or a struggle, that they know that they have the skills and the confidence to go to a leader and say, hey, I need help, or can we strategize about a particular area. I also think that the employees are more motivated and committed to the organization because they know that this business or this organization has invested time in me,
Yes.
that the leader is taking that extra step through this by being a mentor leader to invest in my career advancement and development. And so by having positive feelings about the organization, about the leadership, I want to stay. I want to stay. I want to do a good job. I want to be as productive as possible because I know that this organization cares about me. Then the business, you've got positive work environment, the leaders growing, the employees growing. So guess what? The business is able to take advantage of that and have a competitive advantage because goals are being met, objectives are being met, the business is exposed to new ideas. There's more inclusivity. And so, it's kind of a three-pronged. The leader benefits, the employee benefits, and then the business benefits.
Mm-hmm. And then so do the customers, because they know that it's a healthy business that's going to deliver.
It's a trickle-down effect.
Exactly.
Everybody gets to benefit from it. Exactly.
Yeah. And your friend and mine, Rick Fuller, always says people don't leave a company, they leave a culture. It's not the
Yeah.
job they don't like, it's how they're being treated. They're not being listened to. It's disorganized. And so that eliminates all of that. When you have a mentorship, you have open communication, and it creates a healthy environment. And we've all worked in unhealthy environments, and we've all left unhealthy environments.
Yes. And so, and you're exactly right. You create a safe environment, an environment of trust, an environment where it's not perfect, but you at least know that there's a safe place that you can go because you've developed this relationship with your mentor leader, and you know that there's a safe place that you can go to get problems resolved. It's a safe place to share information, share feedback, and be exposed to new ideas, new ways of doing things. So I really encourage leaders to look into the benefits of being a mentor leader, the benefits for them as leaders and for their employees, and also to the business, because I think it is a underutilized management tool.
So true. So true. So thank you so much for this valuable discussion, Valerie. If you want more information on how you can become a more effective leader, visit vblconsult.com to connect with Valerie, and she can walk alongside you on this journey. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, Valerie.
Thank you.